Hey, what's up guys? Jason from Dime City here. Unless you've been buried in an engine for the last 60 days, you know that we are getting ready to give away a badass Bonneville Cafe Racer. That's right, for free, maybe even to you. That is, if you're the lucky guy or gal who wins it. We've partnered with Triumph Motorcycles, Iron and Air Magazine, and Neil Bailey, who founded Wellspring International. All of the proceeds will go to benefit a children's orphanage in Peru. Stay tuned, watch this fun little video that Herm and I put together, follow us as we build the bike, and at the end, take a look at the web address, get registered, and get involved. Well, what do you think? Can we save it?
Oh, I think we can save this thing. Pretty basic stuff, I think. We'll put our seat on there, we'll put our headlight here, like you said, the speed bars, figure out what we'll do with the exhaust, get some REARSETS on here, get a nice race stance going.
Cool.
We'll splash some color on the bike, and some lucky bastard will get to ride this thing for a long time.
Sounds good to me. Let's get started.
Let's tear it apart.
All right. We don't need that anymore.
Okay.
Right?
So when we disconnect that fuel flow, we're going to have probably some leakage.
I'll lift and I'll pull back and then I'll rotate towards me. And
Alright, I got to disconnect the sensor. You are disconnected. Pull it. Good to go.
So you got that clip, Herm?
Yeah, so we're going to keep this with this. If we keep it with the tank, chances are the painter's going to lose it.
Yeah.
And these things are not easy to come by at your local ace.
Yeah, that looks expensive. So we got this on now. We want to have a rag handy, Herm. So just put that around it and just zip tie it. Cool. All right, so we got the tank off. Now we're on to the rear fender. We're gonna rip this whole thing out of here gently, and then we're gonna replace it with a British Customs fender eliminator kit, right, Herm?
Exactly right.
All right, cool. The wiring harness literally just, it clips right in. All right, well let's get the side covers off next. I've got a swivel socket here that I'm going to use that's got a 13 right on it. Just, it's easier to get in at the headers.
Don't forget we got to disconnect the sensors here.
Yeah. So we just basically put this 12 on here, spin this peg bracket out. You got to hold. Remember, don't do what I did, because when you pull that nut off, all the crap falls out. You got a washer, spacer, a big rubber grommet. We got to save all that stuff because the exhaust kit uses all of it. So we'll set that aside over here.
So we'll remove these outriggers. They're forward facing. And the rear sets will just bolt on via through bolt, some linkage.
We're going to replace this with a Speed Merchant fin cover, right?
Mm-hmm. You sure are.
Here. Oh man! So that little clip just holds the rod in, and then this whole assembly just comes right off. Put that back in there for safekeeping, because I always lose everything. Just ask Herm, he'll tell you. All right, so how do you want to do this, Herm? We're going to take the tire off and hit the AIRBOX?
Yeah, we might as well hit that AIRBOX. That rear wheel's gonna have to come off so we can slide underneath the frame. So all of these little components that are here are going to be mounting someplace different.
Right.
But it gives you a good visual anyway, I think.
Frame of reference.
Yeah, just to kind of where it was, and doesn't make sense to put them in the way they're telling us to put them with the in the AIRBOX.
All right, So we're gonna start over here by removing the brake master parts. All these components we're gonna come back to later when we do the rear set assembly, but they've got to come out of the way now. We're actually gonna reuse these bolts here. So this whole assembly is just gonna come off, and then
some of these are bolted in, some are not. Some are just tabbed. This one I believe is on a rubber. This one probably as well. So good practice is to plug up your carburetors, or faux carburetors in this case. A huge weight difference.
Wow.
And you know, you have so much more space in there, it's going to clean up that entire underneath section.
So we're just going to relocate everything like Herm did on the left side, on the right side. The first piece is the fuse box. British Customs does a real good job. They provide you with all the hardware.
You don't need to put a ton, but you want to cover all of it real nicely. You're going to want to let it sit for about 20 minutes.
The AIRBOX sensor, Herm, right? We just zip tie it up. So I'm going to zip tie these nice and clean to the battery cable. It'll hold those up.
That should fit in there.
Fit our velocity stacks. We're going to remove our plugs. Watch the video, you know about the project. Head on over to ironandair.com/Triumph giveaway and get yourself registered. And if you have time, do us a favor, like Neil Bailey Rides, Iron and Air Magazine, and Dime City on Facebook. We appreciate it, and we'll see you real soon.